Well, listeners, I have here this evening Lisa Mark. She is the president of Time Butler Professional Organizers, and she is going to be here this evening talking to us about how to organize our bathroom. Okay. And she is the president of the Time Butlers Professional Organizers, a team of organizing and productivity experts that specialize in the design and implementation of systems for small businesses and homes. Working with a Time Butler enhances your productivity, saves you time, money, and space, and improves your quality of life. By the end of each project, clients are amazed at the progress they've made and feel like they have more time than ever before. Well, welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Janet.
I'm so excited because as we were talking a little bit, I call it my virtual green room, about just the whole bathrooms and how bathrooms really have not changed in order the way we live, because we have so many products now. I mean, I know you've got the hair, the body, and then, of course, if you've got other family members, it's just so many things. So I'm excited to talk to you today just about how we can maximize the space in our bathroom no matter what size we have. And as we start spring cleaning, because it's that time of year, what are some of the items that we really just need to get rid of in our medicine cabinet and bathroom? Because I worked with a client one time, and we had, I was not kidding you, 5 green trash bags of just makeup and cosmetics.
And that's pretty typical, especially if the bathroom hasn't been cleaned out and organized in a while. So some easy things to get rid of are obviously any expired items, medications, or even shampoos, lotions that have expired. Take a step back and a critical look at the items, and if they haven't been used in at least 3 months, unless they're seasonal, consider getting rid of those. I always recommend to my clients that they get rid of leaky, sticky, squished, or otherwise impacted items, anything that's broken like scales or mirrors or other electronics that maybe don't work anymore, where they've tried to replace the battery and it still doesn't work. Another thing I always recommend is the last little bits in the huge shampoo or liquid soap bottles. My one tip that helps save on a lot of bulk and space is fill that bottle with a little bit of water, shake it, and then gradually use it down to wash your hands or wash your hair until the last bit is gone. Or you can go and go bottle by bottle. And if you have a lot of stuff, consider refraining from replacing these with additional supplies until all these bottles with a little bit in them have been used up. Another option is to put a little water in, shake it up, and then merge it with other bits in other large bottles to consolidate the contents of multiple bottles into 1 or 2 bottles, and then use those bottles. This is true even if it's a mix. I won't mix lotion with shampoo, but you can mix all different kinds of shampoos and then use it in a bubble bath maybe for a young child or for yourself, kind of like a little treat. Mix all different kinds of lotions to get a product that has a unique smell. But also, the goal of the exercise, again, is to condense the bulk in these large bottles. And by consolidating these contents into one, you can save on space as well as having a sense of accomplishment in a relatively small amount of time. And then the last tip that I like to give on this question is that I feel really strongly that cleaning supplies should not be stored in the bathroom unless there truly is no other place to store them. A better option is the laundry area, in a high kitchen cabinet out of the reach of kids or pets, or even in the garage. Cleaning supplies take up a lot of space. They're sensitive to moisture and water. And if you're like me, not a morning person, sometimes you reach for a toiletry item and end up with something in your hand that really should be used to scrub the shower.
I mean, all of those tips were wonderful. I mean, especially one about how you can just, put a little water in those bottles and shake them up and begin to use them. That's good. But I definitely like to tip about the cleaning products, because I don't keep, because I have a small bathroom, so my cleaning products are in the kitchen. I call it the broom closet because it's a small closet where I keep my broom and things like that. But that is a good tip as well, because you're right. Those cleaning products take up so much space with those bulky bottles and whatever else, and so that is good, Lisa. I like that. I really like that. So what are some, I guess, creative ways that we can organize the bathroom?
So what we were talking about just before in your virtual green room, a lot of homes are older. They were built at a time when people had many fewer items. When I was growing up, we had the family shampoo if we were lucky. My siblings and I got along on most of the time a bar of soap, a toothbrush, toothpaste that we all shared, of course, not the toothbrush, the toothpaste, and a comb, and that was it. And things have obviously changed. There are tons and tons and tons of items out there, but we're still living, many of us, in these little bathrooms that were built for lifestyles 50 years ago. So the best tip I can give for this is you want to use every inch of space, even if it's not obviously storage space. Be creative. A skinny cabinet just inside the door on a really small wall can be used to hold a tower of rolled towels or a whole bunch of little sample size items, tubes of toothpaste corralled in a cup, or little samples of shampoo corralled in a bin. Sort like with like, so things are easy to find, and label everything. For larger spaces, you can use decorative bins and baskets to corral like with like items together while providing a smooth, uncluttered look for those of us who are visual. A narrow, high shelf placed inside the shower can provide extra storage space for items used when showering. I recommend polished metal so that it holds up in water rather than anything that's fabric. Even if the water's not reaching up there, the shower tends to get sort of hot and steamy, and you really need to use something that is going to be able to resist that. If you have a bath with no shower, you've got a lot of storage options above that bath, so you can install above bath storage. Again, it could be metal, but it could also be cloth if it's high enough above the bath that it's not going to get hit by water, cloth or wood or something like that. A narrow bathroom pantry next to the shower if there's space, with doors so that when you shut the doors, you put your stuff in, you shut the doors, you kind of have a really clean, streamlined look. A pedestal sink can be enclosed with fabric and item placed underneath for storage, items that you wouldn't normally place there because they would show, but then you enclose it with fabric and you have a nice little decorative area that also hides bigger items like, bulk shampoo, bulk soap purchases, liquid or bar soap. Another idea that I like to use is mirrored storage recessed into the wall to provide storage for multiple small items in an otherwise inaccessible space. Laddered towel hooks allow you to hang multiple towels in one space, so you can save other wall space for additional storage. Pick a color or a theme that you like and stick to it. This makes the bathroom look more cohesive. And then my last tip, especially for small bathrooms, is if you have a little space right outside the bathroom door, maybe in the hall, you can install a cabinet. Or if you don't have enough space to install a cabinet where the doors will be able to be opened, without impacting something else, you can put a decorative ladder, like an acrylic ladder or a bright, green or blue wood ladder, and use that to store bins of items, sorted like with like, or decorative towels, things you use in the bathroom but maybe you don't have space for in the bathroom.
As you were talking, I got a couple of ideas for my small bathroom, because I had never really thought about putting something like a small, narrow cabinet, because I've got the space right behind the door. So I could do that just to kind of give myself a little bit more space. And I love your idea about the towels as well.
Thank you. Yeah. We live in California, land of the $1 million garage, or at this point it's probably the $2 million garage. Space, we have no attic, we have no basement. Space is at a premium. I'm an organizer, so of course I've been training my kids since they were born.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But, one gets it, one kind of doesn't,
okay.
Which is fine. because we all bring different things, different strengths to the table of life.
That's true.
But having this tiny little space, one sink that you share with the rest of the family and one little cabinet that's just a big open space really makes me think about how best to store things. I don't like visual clutter, so I tend to put everything away. But if it's not easily retrievable, I find that the systems don't hold up. And so that's how I think. I think a little bit outside the box. I'm not a creative person, but I try to be creative in these really small spaces.
Well, you seem to be doing excellent. So now you touched on something. How does somebody organize a bathroom when you're really sharing it with other people? It could be a spouse. It could be children. I mean, how do you deal with that? Because I basically see clients who are couples. She's got her side, he's got his side, and they've just got clutter on top of the countertops. And I know part of that is like purging, but how do couples commingle in a bathroom?
Right. And so ways to organize a shared bathroom, as you said, it really depends on the relationship between the people. If the relationship is one of roommates or housemates, you want to organize by person rather than by type of item. So you'll want to provide each person a designated area for his or her things. This can be a cabinet, a shelf, a drawer, whatever is available, even something freestanding if no storage is available. Ensure that each person has as much space as they need without encroaching on the other people's spaces. And to do that, use that space. The space they need is also, unfortunately, the space they have. So I always recommend that my clients buy only what they can fit in the space and store the overflow elsewhere, say in the bedroom or in the linen closet or in another storage space in the home. If space is really tight, like in a college dorm, consider a bath caddy that contains everything you need and leaves the bathroom with you. If, as you said, the relationship is with a married couple or a family, I still recommend that each person have a bit of space to call his or her own, but since a lot of the items will be shared, it's not as necessary as when the users are from different families. The main key to organizing any space is to ensure that everything in the space is used rather than just hanging around because someone paid money for it but doesn't like it but doesn't want to get rid of it and doesn't know what to do with it. That's like the main space saver thing. If you use it, it stays. If not, donate it to a homeless shelter or a woman's shelter or some other place where it will be used and appreciated. Don't keep it, especially in a small space.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip on share, because I know people who have the son and the daughter, and then it's the husband and the wife, and it seems like everybody wants to use their own stuff. But when you're in a small space, I guess it would be better if we all kind of come to an agreement and say, okay, we all really can't use our own stuff, but unless you decide to keep it someplace else. So.
Right, and for that, if you have a really small bathroom, I have a client, they live in a tiny little one-bedroom house. There's 4 of them in a family. They've turned the dining room into the second bedroom, but it's a small, small bathroom. One person, there's no room for 2 people unless one's in the shower and one's at the sink. But it's really designed for one person. And there's no storage space. And what we did in that case was each person has a caddy, and the caddy has the things in it that they use when they shower and they wash, and each person's caddy is a different color. And they grab it when they go into the bathroom, even mom and dad, and they use it, and then it leaves. And the only things that are kept in the bathroom are the towels, bath towels and the hand towels for each person, again, color-coded to match the caddy, and washed once weekly. And that way the stuff does not overflow the bathroom. People don't feel like they're tripping over other people's stuff in the shower. The caddy, they put it outside the shower. They can reach out and get their shampoo, their soap. And then when they're done, the caddy leaves and everybody's happy. And the bathroom is actually, it's tiny, tiny, but it's really cute the way we've arranged it.
And I'm sure because everybody has their own caddy, then you don't have the visual clutter. So that's why it makes it just so visually appealing. So that's a great idea, Lisa. So as people are spring cleaning and deciding to tackle that bathroom project, which sometimes I believe just doesn't even get on the list in some households, what are like maybe one tip or just some things that people can do to really just go in there and dig in there and just say, hey, I'm getting this done, maybe by the end of May. Let's give them some time.
So the thing that stops most of my clients is they walk in and they see everything that needs to be done. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to break it down. They get overwhelmed, and they're like, no, I'm not doing this. It's going to take days. It's going to take weeks. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. So the best tip that I can give is pick a small space, a small cabinet, a small drawer. The key here is small. Set a timer for 20 minutes. This kind of gives you a psychological barrier to time, so you know in 20 minutes if you're not really into the process, you can stop. So set the timer for 20 minutes. Pick a small space and start and sort like with like. Purge items you no longer use. Figure out where items are going to live. Containerize them. Don't buy any containers at this point because that would be premature, but maybe put them in containers that you already have or little boxes or even just the small area of the space. Figure out where they're going to live, containerize them, and then take a step back. See if you can decrease items in each little space by about 25%. It'll be more if you have a lot of stuff and less if you're like me, a minimalist, and only keep what you use. Again, look at that space, that drawer. Say there's a drawer for toothbrushes and dental floss and toothpaste and all the things that, mouthwash, all the things that are required to take care of your teeth. Use that drawer as a physical boundary. Or if that's your drawer and there are 4 other drawers, one for each member of the household or family, then that drawer becomes your physical boundary for your items, and everything that you keep in that room needs to fit in that space. And then look, after the timer goes off, look at what you've put in the toss pile. Donate unopened items to a homeless shelter or to friends if you feel like that will make the purging process easier. Again, consolidate bits of extra shampoo, soap, lotion, and other like items into one bottle, even if they aren't the same kind. Then take a bubble bath or use them until that bottle is used up. Recycle any old containers. Put the rest back in the drawer or cabinet. When the timer goes off, you want to stop. And then do it again in a few days, not every day, and certainly not longer than 20 to 30 minutes at a time unless you, like me, and you love organizing. But do it in small chunks, and after 2 to 3 sessions, I guarantee that you will start to see a change in how your space looks, functions, and feels. One other thing I wanted to say, the corollary to this is that you really need to consider what you're bringing into the space in the future. Mm-hmm. Do you really love it? Will you really use it? Where will you store it? Does it fit? Is it really, it's really easy to undo any organizing progress made by bringing additional items into the space that don't fit into the space or into your lifestyle. So really consider things carefully before you purchase them.
And I think that is a great tip, Lisa, because I think those of us who do live in small spaces, I think in our effort to save money, sometimes we buy a lot of things, and we really have to take that into consideration when we don't have a small space. So for me, I just buy what I need when I need it, and I don't buy things that I don't need. So that was a great tip. And then I also like the fact that you said if you have something unused, donate it to a homeless shelter because they always need things like toiletries. So instead of just throwing it out, give it to somebody who could really use it. So that was wonderful as well. So, Lisa, you have given us so much information, which I've already taken my little notes on my little piece of paper. So how can people get in contact with you?
So feel free to reach out to me, Lisa at thetimebutler.com. That's TheTimebutler.com. Or you can call me at my office, 650-965-4201. Since I'm off and away from my desk working with clients, it's much easier to reach me via email, but I do check my voicemail on a nightly basis, and we'll call you back the next day or the next non-client day. And, of course, if anybody has additional questions that you want like answered, please let me know, again, either via email or by phone.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Lisa. You have given us some wonderful tips on how to go in that bathroom and just have it more organized. So, like you said, we'll feel like we'll have more time than ever to really just enjoy our home and our life. Thank you so much, Lisa, for your time.
Thanks, Janet, for having me. It's fun. It's always fun to talk about organizing.
Isn't it? I know. That's because we're organized. We just love talking about it. So, yes, thank you.
Thank you.